Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2, The Twisted and the Twilight, where somehow we are just going to keep using this dragon as part of ambushes, even though I don't understand the mechanics of that at all. You know what, I like to think that we just throw a big blanket over it, and the Dark Elves can't... They're working on bug ladder rules, you know, if they can't see it, they assume it can't see them either, so they think they're being stealthy, and then they just wander right into the ambush. Speaking of, wandering right into an ambush, we have done some very fine work against their armies over the last turn or two here, and I think we can probably just sweep in. Remember, we're not actually going to have to fight Admiral Caliph, I don't think, so I'm pretty sure we can just sweep in here and burn down Nagrar.
Absolutely.
And this seems like the time for it. Obviously, Lightning Strike.
This is the life.
So Admiral Caliph will... Okay, it looks like maybe Admiral Caliph will apply his reinforcements to the city battle then. That's not ideal. Let's get a missile strength bonus. That seems good.
When do we fight?
Only when necessary.
Let's go after their other lord over here. Again, Lightning Strike.
For the forest.
How did I manage to lose 9 people fighting a single Dark Elf? Just stay away from her. This doesn't seem like it should be that difficult.
Craving prey.
Harmony has prevailed.
Alright, you have finally hit max level and... yeah, I guess a point of cleanse corruption. This really doesn't matter very much.
Nestra Arahan.
So yeah, if we were to attack Nagrar, we could disable their reinforcements. Yeah, let's just do that. We'll just burn it down.
Unbridled glory of battle.
It turns out Lightning Strike is pretty solid.
For now.
Also, Lightning Strike makes it very difficult for Black Arcs to help at all. They just don't get to participate in the game. Alright, so we do need to keep an eye on Helenor. But let's see if we can find a nice spot between Shagrath and the fortress where we can see them both. Oh, well, it looks like Shagrath is probably under control. Alright, let's figure out all this noise. So, we don't really need... we probably want to keep Dodan down here, right? Or sorry, no, we want to keep Solace down here. Dodan is going somewhere else, and I have no idea where that is. Finn Hammerfist of Karak Zorn is not at war with these elves. Yeah, I don't know. There's not much to make of this except that I'm gonna keep annoying these guys.
Protector of the forest.
Listen, I want to make sure that they really, really dislike us. I think that's important. Yeah, you're doing something else now, right? I don't exactly know what. I guess get vision of all this territory here. We're not going to keep Dodan over here, but once we've revealed the settlements, we'll be able to see if ownership of them changes on the world map, even if we don't have current vision of them. The Palace of Ruin has fallen to the Exiles, so that's really good news. Honestly, I think Valnal probably doesn't need to be up here anymore. I don't know what we do want to do with him, but feels like a waste to have him up here. And then, what do we want next, tech-wise? It doesn't matter a huge amount. I guess more global recruitment capacity is at least potentially useful. And we don't need to do anything about this forest, right? Yeah, we're just waiting for these guys to wander into our ambush. There's only one way into Lorelorn, so we know where they're coming from. And then, are we pursuing any particular things? Wow, we're trending downward with these guys hard all of a sudden. We have a ton of money right now. We're back up to 86,000. We could try to buy our way into their hearts again. Yeah, maybe. Also, being friendly with dwarves. Being friendly with dwarves is good. We could try to buy our way into their hearts.
Welcome, friends of the Dowie.
It's weird how reluctant they're being about giving us any treaty at all when we're at 40 points green with them. But I am willing to sweeten the deal a little bit. Okay, I was kind of hoping they would at least give us a counteroffer on that. Well then, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a gift to them. We'll just give them the 30k. Alright, trending towards 79. Because if any positive reputation we can get going with them will be permanent reputation boosts to Griffinwood. Or any treaties we can get going with them will be permanent boosts to the Griffinwood. And that is probably a little bit more cash per point efficient than just giving Griffinwood gifts for temporary bonuses. And I think in 4 turns, when the world root cooldown, or the deep root rather cooldown comes up, I think we're gonna have Orion, who will be done with his defense of that place, teleport down to the southwest and try to clear the lizardmen out of the southwest forest, because that faction of lizardmen doesn't have any friends or anything, right? Like, we don't have to worry about causing a major incident with them. We can probably just get that done, fingers crossed, relatively simply. Or maybe the move is, right now, start moving the sisters toward one of the forests and have them do it. Because obviously it would be very helpful for the army who does this to have Lightning Strike. Alright, they'll be upon our ambush next turn. It's summoning all kinds of dinosaurs and stuff. Fortunately, we don't have to care about that at all.
The Sisters of Twilight.
So do I think we need the sisters to keep pushing east? Honestly, yes. Yes, I do think that. I wish it were not the case, but I'm pretty sure we can't trust the AI to finish the job for us. So let's
Pray.
swing up here for a moment just to spend a turn in friendly territory so we can replenish.
Merge with shadow.
Yeah, I would love to do that, but I just don't think we're in a place where we can. Orion's not that far off of Lightning Strike, right? We're doing that with him. Alright, so we're just gonna like move back and forth between the fortress and Shagrath to make sure that we have vision over both of them each turn.
Fail. No.
Alright. That we will work on. That we will get to. I wish they had an agent around that I could do assassinations on, because I would love to get the trait that you get for successfully assassinating a bunch of times. Alright, dwarves. How do dwarves feel about us now?
Welcome, friends of the Dowie.
Trending towards 76. I'm going to make one more big gift to them. Okay, here's hoping that we get high enough to get some kind of relatively permanent treaty signed soon. 3 turns on Lorelorn. Yep, we don't want to move the army out of Gainvale. They're doing the thing they need to be doing, which is sitting still and waiting for their turn. Yep, okay. We are, unfortunately, at a point in the campaign where we have a lot of waiting to do. See, part of the problem with the way the AI conducts themselves is even worse than like the total lack of coordination in going after targets is they don't press their advantage. Right now, all of Alithanar's armies should be moving northeast as fast as possible, and we should be taking advantage of the fact that the Dark Elves effectively don't have any armies right now. But he's going to fall back and play safe and heal up, which means they have time to do recruitment, and it is not ideal. You gotta, when you have an advantage, you have to use that to secure further advantage. Alright, he wanders into the 40 on 20 ambush, and we have so many arrows. We just shoot every arrow at them. Alright, aha! Beastbinder Orion has gotten his thing going. So the suitors of Ariel return, battered but victorious, proud of their achievements in the field, and eager to see if they will be chosen for rebirth as king in the woods. Yet there are forces of darkness that would see this path curtailed all too quickly. A poison, vicious and cloying, flows through the candidates by means of tainted chalices. By morning they are all as cold as winter's breath. All except one, who has vanished without trace. Athaloran is in an uproar. Fear sets in like a deep chill, which shatters into panic when a rebel force reveals itself, advancing on the Oak of Ages. Enraged and alarmed, Orion rushes back to defend the oak. Even as he feels his strength sapping away, he knows he must do this one last thing. It does sort of seem like we came in the middle of a story here, huh? I wonder if it's like a plot line that starts in his other two quests, and because we picked him up after he had done those already, we just didn't get to see that. Alright, so we destroyed those Norskins. You have leveled up to 18, and you are 1 level away from having Lightning Strike. Okay, so we're close. And we encountered a new rogue army of abominations near our territory. Cygors and Chaos Spawn and rat ogres led by a Beastman. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's see. The Waystalker in Orion's army gets... I don't know, actually. Eye of Kurnus, I suppose. That's probably a thing you ought to have. And then I did remember to grab Immortality. Okay. So 2 turns left on the Deep Roots. And I don't think there's any reason to do anything with Orion's army until then. So Dodan just continues to reveal settlements in this area. Valnal is gonna sail south, I guess. We don't really have a fast way of getting a unit to that southern continent, a hero to that southern continent, but we do want one over there.
I am called.
Can we get close enough, do you think, to see the Frozen City? No, we cannot. Alright, it's not a big deal.
Bring me battle.
They do have a real garrison.
Yes, agreed.
They do not have a real army.
Vengeance.
They are marked.
So I think we should just sit here for a second. Let's generate some
It will be a
advantage.
glorious battle.
We'll starve out this garrison, and this will give our allies time to move up. I'm gonna actually make a formal request here.
The shadows come, the day wanes.
Could you please focus your military assault on... Do we want to say the settlement or one of these 2 armies? I'm gonna say the settlement. Okay, hopefully that'll work. How are the dwarves feeling about me today? We're even. There we go.
All here.
50. 50's high. Okay, this is compelling. Promising even.
No reason for it.
Can we convince you with a little bit of a ton of money? Offer. Offer 30,000 gold. Not demand.
No.
Okay. Could we get just 1?
Never.
Alright, we're close, though. The fact that it was yellow, he's wavering on it. He's thinking about it. What do we... Yeah, assault the garrison here. This is probably slightly more likely to work. And thus, yield more XP. Orion is doing what he needs to be doing. I wish I could say the same for everybody else.
Regrettable necessity.
Alright, so how many settlements are you down to at this point?
I am not known for my ability to...
4. So we know where 3... Oh, no, we know all 4. Right, the one we're sieging. Okay. Yeah, so Dark Elves almost out of the game. This has been a big distraction for us. These Dark Elves have wasted a lot of our time. Okay, the big Orc faction was invited into the war against us by Haggrafe. The Dark Elves paid the Orcs to declare war on us. That almost certainly can't matter. It is going to dramatically complicate taking over Orion's camp, or holding it, potentially.
Disgraced your
But for right now, it's not a big deal. I don't know if I think there's a lot of value in this, honestly. Yeah, I'm not going to take on another defensive alliance at this moment. I'm concerned. You get a big web of defensive alliances going, and then one person declares war on one other person, and you get these big factionalizations, and then all of a sudden your diplomatic rating is shot all to hell. They want money for... You know what? Sure, I will take this. A non-aggression pact is fine. Alright, well that there looks like a high elf problem. Hopefully they'll actually deal with it. Alright, our Oak of Ages is rebuilt.
Amiga Druki Battalion. Duty calls me.
I mean, you may as well go and, like, mess with these guys, I guess. Oh, except you can't reach them. Alright, next turn. Dodan needs to reveal more stuff. I guess we can now undertake actions against orc settlements without, like, any diplomatic cost, right? Because they already hate us. I suppose it's a thing we might do.
It shall be open.
Alright, just keep leveling up, friend. Orion needs to sit still for one more turn. And as always, let's go talk to the dwarves.
Ready? Welcome, friends of the Dowie.
That's true, I am friends of the Dowie. You yourself said I was friend. Maybe you could start, you know, treating me like it.
Yes.
Okay, he agrees. He should treat me like it. So that's good news, and that'll mean that the, where is she? That'll mean that the Briar Maiden of Woe now has a better opinion of us, right? Because we're friendlier with her ally. Yeah, gifts given to Karazakarak, treaties with Karazakarak. It's not as many points as I would like, but you know, this is a start. Some treaties leads to further treaties leads to further reputation points. This is a self-reinforcing loop. Alright, they're making moves. We might want to hit the Frozen City this turn. Because I think Malekith is trying to move up into position to support. Oh, Argolon was destroyed. Burned down. Well, I mean, it's fine, I guess. This doesn't really matter. We were unlikely to be able to confederate them, unfortunately, so we weren't going to get Durthu anyway. I'm hoping that we'll be able to parlay the reputation bonus of having treaties with the dwarves, of having small treaties with the dwarves, into a relatively quick defensive alliance. I think that'd be really helpful. Alright, it's true, Argolon was destroyed. We can no longer confederate them on account of that. Got ourselves an amber, which is pretty valuable. Took a lot longer to get that second amber than I thought it was going to. Let's talk about what we want to do with it. So, missile resistance for trees, casualty replenishment rate up. We don't really need growth anymore. Recruitment duration down is a big deal, though. Expert charge defense for Eternal Guards seems pretty weak. All tree men learn Flock of Doom. Let's go for... a 15% reload time reduction on all armies seems very powerful. And then poison for our tree units is also really good. I think that there's something to be said for Wisdom of the Cypress, for the ability to gain forest health quickly by burning down nearby settlements. But let's take the reload time reduction. That seems very good.
In the woods.
And then, like I said, I think we're going to send Orion down here. We're going to figure out what's up with Lord that thing, which is difficult for me to pronounce. Alright, he's not going to be too happy that we're down here.
The hunter.
So he's got a whole lot of units that are sacred, or blessed. The orange unit indicator here means these guys have bonus stats, but they're a little bit like... It's like halfway between a normal unit and a regiment of renown, I think. And it's not great for us that he has so many, including a couple of really large, terrifying dinosaur units that are blessed on top of it. Yeah, that's going to be a problem. It looks like this is maybe his whole faction, though, right? One settlement, yeah, strength rank 45. So he is currently running a mere 23 units.
Lord of the Forest.
We might be able to just take him, like right now. And Lightning Strike's not going to be super relevant here because he's only got one army and it's inside the settlement. So I think we might just... Boy, do I want to just declare? Also, only 2 turns? Wait, why? Oh, because we just cleared another deep root. That cuts 5 turns off. Where's the other reduction? I don't know. Okay, well, I'm not going to complain about it. Do we want to just declare right now? I mean, my army's it's a little tier 1. But also it has Orion in it. Oh, speaking of Orion, we should probably be making moves on this quest. So I gotta move a character to this Val's Anvil. Had to check because there are 3 different regions that I'm aware of called Val's Anvil. So, you know, you can never tell. I mean, I think we'll probably just grab a temporary hero, next turn have them run to Val's Anvil, and then fire them. That seems like the most effective way to do that.
I go, swiftly.
Volnal may end up not getting where we're going, until it's too late. Alright, Varsio, you should mess with Malekith. Yeah, just assault him. Just run into the army and assault the King of the Dark Elves. She did it. How badly? Oh, pretty badly. It was good. I want to level her, but I cannot click on her. There we go. Yeah, this one. Okay, so we have starved the garrison pretty considerably.
Fight for the forest.
Let's just go ahead and take it.
Make
And I mean, by take it, of course, I mean... Yeah, that seems pretty good. Man, all the time, -9 defense, -15 armor for any enemy within 30 meters of the character. That seems pretty good.
Why do you favor my fool sister?
Viljan, oh, this is the new, I don't care enough to assign your skill points.
Colonel.
You are such a temporary resource.
Opening the way.
Alright, very good at murders now, if only there were any murders to conduct over here. And... so we're still trending downward pretty hard, despite the fact that we have gained a bunch of points recently. Bummer. Well, like I said, let's focus on pushing for this defensive alliance. That'll get us both security, because defensive alliance with the biggest faction in the world, and also with a higher baseline to start buying the Wargrove of Woe off from. Yeah, man, I cannot wait until we are done with these guys. A big part of the AI being as effective against the Dark Elves as they have been is that we're doing a lot of the lifting in terms of taking on the walled settlements. Even when an AI's army is powerful enough to conquer a walled settlement, they really have too much respect for the defenses. They spend a lot of time like hemming and hawing outside of the settlement, running armies back and forth, sieging for 2 turns and then breaking their siege, and it's just very annoying. Right, I don't know what the hell you guys are doing. Maybe they're gonna attack this other Wood Elf faction? Maybe they all feel that I am the only Wood Elf faction that is allowed to exist. I gotta tell you, I don't feel terrible about that idea. Oh, duh. I'm supposed to have started the ritual. I knew I was forgetting something last turn. I'm supposed to start the ritual in Gan Vale. Well, we'll do that at the beginning of this turn, so that I don't have time to forget about it. Yep, it sure does look like the Empire and the other Wood Elves are having at each other. Alright, speed plus 5%, or... I guess this is slightly more relevant. Let's see, we are not defensive allies with these elves, which is a shame. So Shagrath itself has basically no garrison, but Malekith is here. Okay, we can run to here
Moving with grace.
and get a little bit of replenishment time, and then continue pushing next turn. This is part of why it's nice to have, oh right, I do want to move you.
Hunting.
It's part of why it's nice to have all this replenishment, is that it buys you a lot of extra time. You spend way fewer turns just sitting still. Okay, we did it. We did the quest. Orion and his forces rush to the defense of the Oak of Ages and find the sole surviving warrior of the feast at the head of the rebel army, a traitor through and through. They explain how they were chosen by Anathrema to be her champion. Having infiltrated the Oak of Ages, Anathrema, goddess of the savage hunt, planned to supplant Ariel and ascend to an Athaloran shaped by her malicious desires. We are, like, totally on the outside of this story. I don't know why any of this is happening. Orion's final act must be to destroy this Glade Lord and put Anathrema's destructive desires to the sword once and for all, and earn the spear. This is a very short quest. So it does seem like a pretty decent spear. It's the kind of spear that makes you better at using your bow, which is my favorite kind of spear. So we could just teleport into this battle. It's a pretty low-tier elven army, but of course, reinforcements, as ever. Do I feel like this is a good time for this? Not really, honestly. I'm done with you. Yeah, let's not worry about this just yet. I do like the spear, but Orion's got another thing he needs to be doing. Alright. This thing also needs to be doing. So where are my enemies mustering? Over there. And over there. That's pretty awkward. I mean, it's a good thing we have military access. Oh, we don't. We gotta get military access with you. Can this happen? No. No, it cannot. Is the other one in Trace's land? It is. Okay, we're going this way first then. And this army's pretty decent, actually. They should be able to get the job done. And I guess we'll let that other army come to us. That way we don't have to trespass at all, and we don't have to get the finicky high elves to join our cause.
There can be no vanity.
Varcio, take out this guy.
True valor. Mission successful.
Okay, cool. That's a useful follower. Let's grab this thing too. I can't imagine you ever being part of a battle, but... Oh wait, there is a guy. There is an agent very subtly hidden here. Well, that's embarrassing. Okay, so you're not recruiting.
Protector of the oak.
I think we're going to just declare and have at them. So, let's make sure, I guess, before we do that. They're at war with some other people around here. They have a trade agreement with Itza, but they're not actually, like, friendly with Itza. Yeah, let's just have them. How do these guys feel about me? Actually trending upward pretty... Oh, right, because we have a bunch of diplomatic bonuses with other elves. I'm a little surprised, because these are dark elves, obviously, as you can tell from the shape of the banner. But it seems like it's not going to be a problem. Alright, let's declare. Because they only have the one settlement here, and we can just press right up against it. I think our goal is going to be... Oh. Never mind. I was going to say we're going to siege them and starve them out, but apparently the auto-resolver is just going to give it to us. I'll take that. Obviously, occupy. Ooh, campaigner. Perfect vigor. Plus 10% campaign movement range. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a pretty solid trait. so now we have insinuated ourselves into the diplomatic situation down here. And that's probably going to have some consequences. What does this building do? +3 recruit rank for lore of life casters, minus recovery time, immunity to Skaven, plague, and swamp attrition. Yo, this would have been a nice one to get earlier, huh? And it provides a garrison that is actually pretty powerful. 2 tree men. Yeah, wow. Okay. So let's get some basic stuff going. I know that there are Skaven that start down in this part of the world. It looks like none of them are around, though, so I'm not too worried about picking up the building that prevents there from being Skaven undercities. And unfortunately, for a lot of other stuff, we're stuck on Kindred. We need to wait for growth to kick in. So we want to make sure we save 3 spaces for these buildings. That'll be the top 3 here. And then I guess we just build some basic recruitment stuff. And like archers and basic elf infantry. And do we want to save room for a forge? Probably, right? Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Shield of Athelloren.
I'm really surprised at how easy that was to resolve. Like, the Lizardmen usually get a pretty solid auto-resolve bonus. It seems like the auto-resolver likes the Lizardmen units a lot. So I was expecting that to be like a whole thing. Alright, so we gotta figure out how we want to deal with this, though. We're gonna have to make some friends or burn some stuff down or something. Sounds like a real next turn kind of problem, though. For now, let's just build up. Wow, trending toward 25. Man. And that's even with some basic... We have basic treaties with them. It's just... It's murder to get them to not hate us. Okay, I don't think we have anything else that needs doing this turn. We already moved the sisters, right?
High Elven Archmage.
Okay, yeah. I don't know exactly how many more times we're going to have to put Malekith down, but we're close. It's definitely like single digits, probably low single digits. And in the face of any resistance at all, he flees. So, I mean, what if we made friends with these Dark Elves? I wonder if that would be a long-reaching problem. Because the other High Elves, like, our High Elf allies, are still going to have a problem with these Dark Elves, even if there hasn't been any direct, like, adversarial contact between them. Just because High Elves and Dark Elves do not like each other naturally. So it is... But we gotta get the Heathlands around the forest pouring in health somehow. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we can just declare war on everybody around and burn them all down?
Your reach grows yet further.
Oh, hey.
Lord.
400 forest health in Athelloren. That's pretty cool.
Changing the very face
Okay. I mean, this is something we can do to pick up some...
before your
What do you call it?
incredible power.
To pick up some forest health. Of course, we can... Oh, you know what we can do is we can build one of these. Right, at the max level, or even at the second tier, that does return forest health. Let's do that. Let's make sure we are pursuing that. Let's get some more of this stuff going on. And then we gotta wait for more kindreds before we can make more money.
Lord of the Forest.
So if we don't get at least a little bit friendly with the Dark Elves, then pursuing this event to restore forest health is gonna have some... It's going to have some effects on our ability to do so. They do quite like us. What's their deal with everybody?
Your obedience is required.
So they're at war with some units near, some factions nearby. Yeah, you can see they like that we have trespassed against the High Elves. I mean, they look like they're pretty small. Maybe we could just fight them? The problem is, if we burn their stuff down, it's just going to get reclaimed by other people, right? In order for this to work, we have to make friends with the other people around here. Itza is not going to be friendly with me. They're showing us strength rank 14, although they only have 2 settlements. It's weird that we started negative with these guys, but we are now gaining... Oh, I guess all of our positive reputation points really are based on the fact that we just killed those lizard men, so that's why. The vampires really don't care for me. Ah, because they don't like Nagaroth. That makes sense. How do these two feel about each other? Not so hot. Everybody hates Itza, though. Looks like I could make some friends by working against Itza. So let's do that then.
The forest calls.
We will move you out to here. You will take one more turn of friendly replenishment. And in fact... we have 54% movement range left, but we cannot get into this stance that requires 50% movement range. Well, that was my plan. Well, you know what then? I'm just going back to the pools. We'll just spend another turn sitting in friendly territory here. Or actually in the city, but no, apparently we won't. So I think this told us what's wrong, right? We moved out an amount that we were told was 46% of our total movement, and then tried to move back and were unable to. So the problem is, it's not that the stances are bugged, it's that the movement display is bugged. It's showing us the wrong number. We had spent more than 50% of our movement. Well, that's a bummer, man. Your reporting tools being wrong makes it very difficult to, there's not a lot we can do about that. You just keep exploring, you get down here. We'll get him down to this jungle yet. So Shagrath did not fall, for some reason. Feels like the AI should be attacking Shagrath. Here's Malekith fleeing back to the fortress.
Duty, adventure.
And us in hot pursuit, right? I don't particularly think that it's valuable for us to stop in Shagrath. Let's make sure we give ourselves lots and lots of room
Looking for a fight.
above 10%, because we have no idea whether the movement meter is telling us the truth here.
Merge with shadow.
Forest is whispering.
You should get better at assaulting units, I guess.
Death comes for them.
Wow. Well, that, you know, if you fail to assassinate a guy enough times, then he gets that trait for having made enemies fail their moves against him, and then it just gets even harder. So it'd be cool if that would stop happening. Alright, so we have... Oh, wow. That is actually a terrifying army. So, a couple of units of Chosen with halberds, a whole bunch of other Chosen. These are very highly armored. You can see 4660 on their melee stats. Like, very, very good fighters. Chariots pulled by Gore Beasts, which are every bit as pleasant as they sound. A bunch of Chaos Knights, a Chaos Giant, some Dragon Ogres, which are like, what if a Zote was the size of a building instead of the size of a smaller building, I guess. I was going to say a horse, but Zotes are definitely bigger than a horse. Like 2 horses. A Zote is a lot like a horse riding another horse. Yeah, we would lose this fight. For sure. Back off. Oh. You don't say. So it spawned me, it moved me to below these guys? That doesn't make any sense. So now I can't run past them to safety. Okay. This is pretty bad. There's, unfortunately, probably not a way... Yeah, these guys are not at war with anybody else. Can I ask Trace if they would join us? I could declare war on the Acolytes of the Keeper, which doesn't even sound like a real... Is that these guys? Because it doesn't sound like a real force, so I'm assuming that's why. Yeah, okay. So if we could get Trace into battle with them, then probably we could at least like attack them near Trace's cities. But it looks like that's not going to be happening. So what I'm going to do instead is move like this, ambush mode, and I don't know, man. We're just trying to make it back to Gaian Vale in one piece. This looks very ugly, though. This is a far more dangerous force than the guys in the last invasion. I wonder, should we maybe bring Orion over here? Because we could, right? I guess let's not do it right now. For right now, I'm just going to hit end turn. Well, I'm going to check in with our potential friends. Hey, no big surprises there, and higher and higher with you guys. Unfortunately, they don't really need us. They don't need our military for defense, which is going to slow down any progress on that pact. I don't know what these high elves are doing, but it's making me real nervous. Aw, that's a shame. Well, Crone Hellebron's out in the open at least. Okay, we are too late to help out with Itza. Well, to be perfectly honest with you, that removes the main benefit of having Orion down there at the moment, so I think, yeah, we are probably going to move him up to Gaian Vale. It looks like it might end up being necessary, because these particular ritual armies are a little terrifying. If they see through our Tree Man's ambush, we're certainly just going to lose that army. We have the option of catching them in a proper ambush right now, but the problem with that is, so for a lot of factions, let me talk about this. We haven't actually played out a proper army ambush. For a lot of factions, it's a really good idea to ambush them, because when you catch them marching and you ambush them, they're marching along in a straight line, and you get to attack them from the flank, and that means you get to put your cavalry straight into their archers and stuff like that. There's almost no benefit to ambushing an army like this, because they don't have any weak units for us to attack. All of their stuff is frontline stuff. I suppose we could approach from behind the Dragon Ogres and the Giant and try to just shoot them down as quickly as possible, but we're going to get Chaos Knighted immediately, and I'm going to let them pass. Okay, apparently I'm not going to let them pass. That is not how this is going to work. Okay, we did manage to escape. I'm going to fall back to the army at the Vale. Yep, we do in fact have imminent invasions. There's no two ways about that. Yep, and just set big ambushes and hope. Oh, I'm too close to another player's army, because another player has his army inside my settlement. Despite the fact that that's not even a place where he can have an army. Alright, well, being outside of the army, or the city's zone of control, makes the ambush kind of irrelevant, so basically I just need him to back the hell off. I don't know why they're doing that anyway. Oh, we're still north of all... Man, this is going to be a long, long boat trip. Alright, Varsio... How do we want to handle this? I asked other people to go for this thing.
You overreach.
So maybe the right play is for us to fall back and hit Shagrath? I'm honestly not sure. I honestly don't know what makes sense to do.
Pick off their weakest.
Alright, we're gonna do it like this. And we're just gonna grab Crone Hellebron and then disappear, I think.
Will. Finally a fight.
We should be able to pull this off pretty easily, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think it's given me maybe a little bit too generous on the auto-resolve, but this is not a very impressive army.
Harmony shall reign.
A lot of low-tier stuff, a lot of unarmored cavalry, which obviously is very bad against a lot of archers. Okay, sure. That seems pretty good.
Awaiting bloodshed.
And then... where do we want to go? I'm gonna just fall back into these trees, I guess.
How I enjoyed that. An ambush. How delicious.
Just try to keep the Dark Elves locally weak and hope that the AI can actually make some progress against them.
Slay them.
Alright, you are never going to get that kill, huh? So, Orion. Do I want you to just teleport home? The Deepwood cooldown is still pretty low. I think for safety's sake, we kind of have to. This is looking like a much greater challenge. Okay, and hopefully they'll just run right into our 60 units. Oh, hey, in Lorelorn, we should now build our unique building, right? Actually, it doesn't have that. It gives us bonus income from trade. Yeah, we should do that. So what are we cutting for it? We probably at this point do not need the garrison anymore. It is unlikely that we will get attacked here, so I think we can pull that one. Okay. I don't like this at all. Why would they attack me now? How is that a sensible thing to do? But it sure looks like that's what they're doing, right? It's hard to imagine this is supposed to be anything else.
Scum. I will put you in the ground.
Yes, yeah, I'll do that. You know, making friends with the Hunts Marshals expedition and having them help us kill the Dark Elves is probably more sensible as a long-term plan than making friends with these Dark Elves. Making friends with the Dark Elves might be good enough to get us to Ritual of Rebirth territory on the on that jungle down there, but I'm worried that it's going to have some real bad long-term ramifications. Alright. Let's build ourselves a very fancy glade. Dodan has... okay, Dodan needs to go east. There is more orc stuff to map over here. I do not love being at war with this faction. So Shagrath was cleared. I mean, this is at the moment a very easy group of fights, right? And only 9 units in the garrison of the city.
End their threat.
So let's ride out and do a lot of smashing.
This is
Obviously,
the life.
little bits at a time.
Give us. There is no other way.
I mean, there totally was another way. I'm just not going to employ any other way.
Serene
The season
Nestor.
tempestuous Arahan. It will be a glorious battle.
The land must be cleansed.
Alright, I think we can leave our allies to deal with Tahakish, right?
Well drilled.
Tahachish, maybe?
They will suffer Orion's wrath.
Yeah, you just get over there and be annoying. Finally got the Dark Elves down to 1 settlement.
I will end them.
Boy, is that 4 consecutive 60% misses? That is a real bummer. Alright, we have a non-aggression pact, right?
Choose your words carefully.
We do not. You're at 41% and improving, or 41 and improving. But it sure does look like you intend to do a thing here. And you could do it at any moment. So I guess I'm just gonna chill out in my settlement and make this unappealing to you. Can I get far enough south to go into ambush? I can, okay. Alright. If the High Elves are planning to do something, maybe they'll do it this turn because they lost sight of this army and they figure they have a roughly even battle. And then when our third army worth of reinforcements shows up, they get killed, and then hopefully we have time to rebuild before the other thing happens. We might want to start paying her. It might be time to start trying to buy the thing. So, I mean, 95. I wonder if we could grease this with gold. Nope, stays low. Alright, I'm going to hold off for the moment. So, all three of our armies are doing important stuff. Yep, I guess there's nothing for it but to hit end turn here. I'll be really glad when the Dark Elf War is over and we can finally pull the Sisters down to the other theaters. I do think that this is the most important place that we are waging war. Like, it is right to have our most powerful army up here. But man, I really want them to be somewhere else. This is just like, this feels terribly wasteful. Just think about all the progress we could be making in other places. I have no idea why the Orcs declared war on us, by the way. It doesn't seem like they have any intention of actually fighting with us. And in fact, they kind of can't, right? Like, not only are they all the way on the other side of the world, but they're almost landlocked. I cannot figure out what they are intending. I don't think that that's a good idea. Okay, so Daith's Graft, Daith's Grind, Trove or Blessing. Let's go improve army's weapons. I keep looking at that like, oh hey, what could I build? But we know exactly what we're building there. Oh, you're so close. You're so close to immortality before these huge numbers of Chaos dudes show up. Valnal should work on this. Okay, we are potentially actually going to be able to deal with this turn. What do they have left? Oh, yeah.
So bored. So impatient.
I am so tired of dealing with these Dark Elves.
Battle. A regrettable necessity.
An arrow in the head.
Yeah, I guess the replenishment, it doesn't really matter. Alright, and we just defeated the garrison of this city, so burn that down, and that is the end of Nagarond, right? No? Is it not? Oh, I mean, if they have any armies left alive, they will still exist for a few turns, probably, but yes, they are 0 settlements. Okay. It's about damn time.
Ready? All here.
I was kind of hoping that my great heroic deed would have changed the dwarves' opinion on me. We need to look into the mountains this way. %61%. Alright, try number 5 was the winner. Get better at this, I suppose. Take the last research we have access to. The good news is, by the time we're done with that, it'll be just about time to pick up our next... what do you call it? Pick up our next Amber research, and then we're just going to be sitting idle on that front. So what do I think? Unfortunately, these two are approaching far closer than I would like. They're going to arrive at roughly the same time. It'd be really nice if we could fight one of them and then get like 2 turns to figure things out before having to deal with the next one. But no such luck. The High Elves are bringing in a 3rd army so that they will still be able to steal the forest from us. And there's not really anything I can do about that. We just gotta beat him. Oh no, okay, Tyrion's leaving, actually. Oh, they declared war on the, Huh. I missed the declaration. Wow. That was nice. I guess Tyrion understands to some extent what is at stake here with this forest. Also, it sure looks like he has plans for the forest himself, but I think it's fine if we can get the ritual to complete, right? We just have to keep them out of there until that happens, and then we could just give it to them and it would be okay. I mean, they're still elves. In theory, they care about the health of the forest, right? A very cunning ambush laid in Athelloren. I feel like the forest is just gonna sort of gently escort you out. So we have to decide whether it's worth trying to pour more gold into our relationship with the dwarves, or if we've gotten the value that we're going to get out of pursuing treaties with them, and we now want to be directly pursuing the maiden again. Okay, 3 turns on this, and I don't really want to move my lords away from that. You guys are about to make it unsafe for me to, in fact, you've already made it diplomatically awkward for me to cross this territory.
I am Tyrion, champion of the
But why, though? But why do you want to make things so difficult? Alright, so I think
When do we fight?
we're going to sail out. We're going to go over here to the water. And we will sail back toward the Witchwood, and then from there, you know, deep route to somewhere that matters a little bit more. Now that we can turn, you know, our real force on the other parts of the world, hopefully we can figure out some solutions to some of these other forest problems. I mean, like, it's not going to be too difficult to deal with the Orion's Bowmen situation if we have a person who has Lightning Strike. Alright, you want to sit for a turn and recover from your exhaustion. Trollio gets evasion. Three turns. I just need the High Elves not to have at us for 3 turns. Let's do one more sequence of enemy turns maybe, and then call it there for the day. They really are massing up an awful lot of troops over here. I wonder what is going on in his mind. They're not coming for the Vale anymore. So that's good, but there's still like 4 armies within 2 turns movement of us, and it's hard to feel safe. Maybe we could teleport one of the armies out, though. You know what we could be putting our money toward is making friends with the Hunts Marshal's expedition, I suppose. Let's see. You're not particularly... Yeah, I'm not going to take that. They're not particularly hooked into the relationships or conflicts that we care very much about. Alright, rumors of a possible threat to the world roots. Yeah, so we can try to level up the forest entirely through these things, I guess. Trending south pretty fast with these guys. Yeah, everybody's feelings about what we did to the lizard men wearing off pretty quickly. Alright, I think let's do that. Let's bring... Oh, that's my Discord. Sorry about that. Let's bring Orion back over here. While the world roots are our low cooldown. Oh, sorry, I want to zoom out. There we go. I don't know exactly, like, how bad is it going to be? How bad is the diplomatic penalty for this going to be? It's hard to know exactly, but we probably ought to do something about it. Damn it. Go! There we go. I don't know why that was just unselecting. Okay, the forest is approached by an unusual force, an enormous group of Zotes, accompanied by a guard of lizardmen. The skink says that the Great Plan insists these Zotes are the rightful inhabitants of the forest, and must be allowed to tend to it at your side. Okay, I'm basically alright with that. However, the forest spirits are reluctant to share power with the Zotes, whose true intentions are unknown. They urge that you slay them all. To be clear, they don't do that because of anything about the Zotes, that's just how forest spirits always are. So we could attack the lizard men, but like, why? This doesn't really seem like that big of a penalty, honestly. This doesn't seem like much of a benefit, but we get the same 10 points either way. Yeah, admit the Zotes. I am pro Zote. That's where I'm at. So okay, we'll do this one too. We're trending -1 right now because of the unresolved encounters. Oh no, actually, that number hasn't updated yet though. So we have +1 from tech, -1 from unresolved encounters. We need to do this. That'll get us another +1 per turn. We continue to resolve encounters, and we'll get this all sorted. May as well upgrade these, because money is certainly not a problem. I guess I said that was going to be the last. Listen, we'll do one more turn. It's fine. That's not the button I meant.
Moving.
Captain reporting.
Yeah, Varcio doesn't really have a lot to do anymore. I guess you two will get in the water, and we'll figure out what I want to do with you later.
The Sisters of Twilight.
May as well potentially grab some gold on the way past, but I'm not going to get into a whole thing. Like, I'm not going to fight over it. Because we just don't care about the money that much.
Of the forest.
At 7,200 bonus, or at 7,200 gold per turn, it is entirely possible that we could just run another army at this point, but I'm not 100% sure that we gain a lot by doing so. Our problems are less, they're certainly not quite, they're not, we just don't have enough troop problems anymore. Now we have other kinds of organizational issues. Alright. This will be the last sequence of enemy turns, and then we'll call it for the day. Alright, the Dark Elves are well and truly destroyed. That took forever. And honestly, maybe we don't need to resolve the situation any further than we're resolving it right now, right? Like, make sure that we're burning the encounters when we get the ability to do so, and then just let it generate 2 forest health per turn passively every turn until we max out. Like, it's going to take us a while to resolve the other forest problems anyway. This is probably not going to be our bottleneck. The Wargrove of Woe and the Border Princes are going to be real. These are our real problems at this point. People that are too friendly. I mean, it's a good problem to have. Alright, let's go ahead and do this thing, and then we'll call it. So what does this look like? Many years ago, the Skaven of Clan Pestilens swarmed these pools. At the instigation of Clan Molder, they have returned. A vast army of plague monks, backed by a swarm of chittering rats, threatens to descend and sully the sacred waters. But an unusual source of aid appears. A vampire pirate looking to test some new artillery is willing to direct his guns at the Skaven, for a price, of course. However, if you do not hire the pirate, he might instead choose to offer his arms to the Skaven. Well, of course we hired the awesome pirate. So he's going to give us access to some artillery support. For 1,000, yeah, like 1,000 gold is no problem. Okay, wow, that really is an army just of plague monks. Okay, well, we don't actually... This is pretty straightforward. We don't actually have to fight this.
Michael!
Alright, and then let's get you back into our territory here. Orion himself is hit level 20, and we should probably grab... Now that we have Lightning Strike, let's grab some of this yellow line stuff, and we'll come back and get the upkeep reductions or whatever later. Because obviously those things are no longer critical. So, campaign line of sight and ambush success chance both seem real good. Yeah, let's start with that, and then we'll grab Bounty next, and that'll give us enough points to get Never-Ending Hunt. And you take, I don't even know, something? I mean, let's be honest, we're really hoping not to put you in melee. You, on the other hand, we totally might. And for some reason, somebody else has unassigned skill points, I don't know. Okay, that right there is where we're going to call it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I feel like we've been working toward the destruction of those Dark Elves for weeks at this point, and that honestly might even literally be true. It's really, really good to finally have it done with. When you come back next time, tomorrow, we are going to have to start figuring out how we're going to deal with these eastern forests. And we'll see you then.